So this is my existential crisis in a way. So basically, I was like scrolling through Instagram and there were like quite a few more butts than usual.
We have this saying in English, we were all young once. And you know what we don't have a saying for? We don't say we were all stupid once. Because you know what? As this life goes on, you're not just going to be stupid once. It's not going to be once. It's not going to be twice. It's not going to be 10 times. You get to be stupid again and again and again. No matter how wise and experienced and worldly and insightful, you will have, if you don't die tomorrow, you're going to have the sensation of being stupid and reflecting on what it's like to be stupid within the next 2 weeks. I guarantee it doesn't end. It does not stop. But we were all young once, right? Because we treat ignorance and stupidity as two different things. The problem is what nags at us when we try to be generous and considerate and positive towards people who seem kind of dumb and kind of ignorant. We try to pretend that it's not a choice because we all were young once. There was a time when being ignorant wasn't something we chose. It was just something we were born into. And you know, Kristen Leo is 28 years old. There's some age at which all those excuses have to stop. There's some age at which your ignorance isn't something you can blame on the school system, and it isn't something you can blame on the way your parents raised you, when it's all on me and it's all on you. And that age comes whenever you're willing to take on the responsibility, right? It's not 26 and it's not 28 and it's not 18. It's whenever you're willing to face up to the awesome, horrifying responsibility that ultimately your education or your enlightenment, your being stupid or not, your being ignorant, that it is all on you, that no one else is ever going to be responsible but you. All right? I listened to this bullshit from Kristen Leo. I got sympathy. Sympathy I got. Sympathy is an analytical tool. I can look at her whole situation as a 28-year-old woman who has somehow risen to fame by posting pictures of her ass in a bikini on Instagram, who's now had this amazing, religious epiphany, this new insight that the meaning of life and the way to pursue political change is not through posting pictures of your ass in a bikini on Instagram. You're about to hear that from her own mouth in a brief edit. I understand she's turning things around. Okay? The question I want you to ask yourself as we watch this clip, I'm going to come back and say a few more words at the end. Question I want you to ask yourself is this. Do you actually believe in education to the extent that you think Kristen Leo would be a better person or have a better perspective on these issues if she went to university and studied economics, if she went to university and studied philosophy, if she went to university and studied political science or politics or what have you? This is not the only embarrassing video in Kristen Leo's new genre of being an ecological and vegan lifestyle activist. She's become more political. She's become more politicized, more radicalized, more feminist. She's another video that has utopia in the title. They're very hard to watch. They really are. They're hard for me to sit through. Okay? But I sympathize. She's 20 years old, and she's finally facing up to what it would really mean to be some kind of political leader or activist here on YouTube. But she has done none of the reading she needs to do. And when I watch these videos, I wonder if she has ever read a newspaper in her life. But here's the thing. I don't even believe in our system of education to that extent. I've met people with PhDs in economics and PhDs in politics who are just as balefully ignorant and useless and self-indulgent as Kristen Leo. I Googled the hell out of it. I can't find any indication of her having university education. I know she used to be a model. She used to be an airline stewardess. I'm not hating on her, but I've never seen any reference to her having university education. But you know, it's possible. It's possible she has a degree in philosophy. A natural vegan has a degree in philosophy. She knows nothing about philosophy. I meet people all the time who are burdened with formal university credentials, And they probably look up to Kristen Leo. They're probably the people leaving these bullshit comments on Kristen Leo's channel telling her that she's a deep thinker and she's a profound influence, she's a great leader. Believe me, that's out there. You can just click on her channel. And wow, the scariest part of all, what you see happening here on YouTube is, here's this great phrase, I don't even know who I'm quoting, right? The soft bigotry of low expectations, right? The sense in which these people, and more often than not it's women, and more often than not it's good-looking women, more often than not it's good-looking women of impregnable age, for some reason it's not 65-year-old women, they get all this positive encouragement and feedback, and nobody's ever saying to them, have you fucking read a newspaper in your life? Have you read Aristotle? Have you read Plato? Have you done the basic reading that a 28-year-old should do before making this YouTube video stating your political manifesto and your philosophy of education? Have you stepped back and thought? Have you thought about why it is that these other people you criticize, their opinions are taken seriously and respected and yours not? Who is going to put someone like that in check? Who's going to have that positive influence? And I sympathize. Because guess what? I have nobody like that in my life right now at age 41. And I had nobody like that in my life at age 28 or at age 21. When I was a teenager, I had to be my own teacher and my own guidance and my own inspiration. I had to read the books and I had to decide that's not good enough. I had to decide I was too ignorant. I had to go back to the library. I had to set standards for myself to aspire to. I had to set the target. There was nobody around to tell me that I was dumb and I was ignorant and I was wrong when I was dumb and ignorant and wrong. And like I say, you're young once, but you ain't stupid once. You're going to be wrong again and again and again. You're going to start off studying the history of Cambodia and not knowing a goddamn thing. And you're going to study the history of Laos. These are places I've studied. You're going to study the history of Greece, ancient Greece or modern Greece, all stuff I've studied. Okay? You're going to fall down on your face. You're going to be wrong again and again and again. But who's going to give you that guidance, whether you think of it as a positive or negative impetus, to go back to the books, to learn better, to do better, to know better, and then be able to look back at yourself and say, oh my God, I was stupid. Oh my God, I was ignorant, okay? You're young once. You're only young once. Kristen Leo, you're 28 years old. You're out of excuses. All the people who are making excuses for you, all of them, those are the people you should block on Instagram. Those are the comments you should delete on YouTube. Not the girls you feel jealous of, because they look better than you when they're putting their ass in a bikini on Instagram the same goddamn way that you do yourself.
And for some reason, my feed had a lot of butts, like a lot of bikini shots and butts and whatever. And I had to mute them. And I was thinking of how do we get taken seriously then as women in a man's world? How do we play this game? How do we play along? How do we hijack this? And I think it's definitely not through butt pictures on Instagram, that's for sure. But I combine those two thoughts in a way. And it seems to me, one thing that I've noticed that all powerful men do is they in no way have anything to do with their appearance. They do not promote their appearance in any way. I've never seen a successful man that has ever in his life shown his butt cheeks, you know? There's nothing wrong with showing your butt cheeks, and there's nothing wrong with nudity, and there's nothing wrong with showing your tits on Instagram if you are of age to do that. But nobody that has ever ruled the world and controlled the world has shown their butt cheeks on a public forum, on social media, or on TV, or in movies, or in anything. And I feel like there's a reason behind that. We live in a very conservative world, so any expression of sexuality it kind of immediately takes power from you. So this whole thing that like, oh, being nude and sharing it online is empowering, I feel like it does the exact opposite of that. Not that there's anything wrong with being interested in your appearance. I feel like as a woman, it's very hard because we're all so damn beautiful. It's very hard to not be distracted by our own beauty and want to share it with everyone in the world. And I get it, your butt cheeks are beautiful and your boobs are beautiful, and I get that you want to share that with everyone else. But if you are a woman that wants to hijack all of this and actually take part in changing the world for the better, you're not doing yourself any favors if you're objectifying yourself online, I think. And I'm not saying this at all in a slut-shaming way. Like, I want to clarify this. I want a world where women and men and everyone feels comfortable to share their butt cheeks online. But the way the rules are right now, it negatively impacts you personally, and even, I don't know, maybe this is a long shot, but I think that it does also have an impact on women in general and the opinion that men in power have about us. And I think that this isn't only useful for the women that want to go out and hijack the world, take over and then hijack the world, but I think it's also useful for just any woman in her life that wants to gain more power. Why are we trying to focus so much on our appearance when there's just so much more important stuff that we can be thinking about and doing on? And if we are using social media to communicate and organize ourselves, why are we using it to just show our butt cheeks? That really is not achieving anything.
The battles for veganism are just beginning. I'm not satisfied with what you guys call a community. I'm not satisfied with a bunch of self-indulgent middle-aged people sitting around on Facebook giving each other the thumbs up. Or, I'm not satisfied with a bunch of teenagers on Instagram photographing their asses in a bikini and saying they're changing the world. None of that does it for me, okay? I want more. Can I have it today? No. Can I have it next year? No. Am I going to see it before I die? Maybe.
Looking at the tools and the ways that men brought themselves to power is something that we should be copying. And then eventually at some point changing, of course. But right now, we gotta copy them and we gotta look at what they're doing in order to get to the same place that they are. So, for me, I guess I gotta look at what the YouTube channels are doing that are the most successful on YouTube. So I gotta do pranks that terrorize women. So like sexist pranks. I gotta talk like this. That was my best PewDiePie impression. But I gotta look at what the YouTube dudes that are succeeding on this platform are doing, and they're all sexist, and they're all offensive and rude and materialistic and superficial, and they're also very ignorant about everything. They're very racist as well, extremely racist. Oh, and then what else are the dudes? They're funny. That really isn't what we need today. And if you want to keep doing that, of course, do it, and congratulations on your glorious butt cheeks, but I don't want to look at them, honestly. And I don't know why you want to put your butt cheeks in my face, because that's what it is. When I put anything on social media, it's the equivalent of me taking a photo or a video and sticking it in your face and being like, look at this, And when I'm gonna be this obnoxious person that is gonna do this and shove things in your face, it might as well be something that's, something that you wanna look at and watch and listen to, or, and if that photo is just my butt cheeks, I've said the word butt cheeks way too much, but if that's what the photo is, why am I taking this photo and shoving it in your face? This is so awkward. This is so weird. And when you're doing that, why are you doing that? I don't want to look at your body. Good job on your beautiful body, but I don't care. I don't care for it. I'm not into it. I like it, good job for having it, but I don't want to look at it.
I sympathize. Kristen, Leo, I sympathize. You made it to 28 years old, and just now the realization is dawning on you that showing your ass in a bikini on Instagram is not the way to change the world, is not the way to save the planet, it's not the way to pursue political change. I get it. I dig it. It'd be better for you if you'd figured that out at 18 or even age 12. You're figuring it out right now at age 28. It's a positive turning point in your life, and I wish you the best, okay? I've had a turning point in my life also. And looking at your video, and I popped in a brief clip of myself when I was younger and more optimistic, more naive here, maybe 5 years ago on YouTube. I've been coming on YouTube for all this time. I've been saying, hey guys, I want to save the planet. Who else wants to save the planet? I care about ecology. I care about veganism. I care about ethics. Let's get organized. Let's change the world. Let's see what we can do, people, okay? And I was wrong. My approach was wrong. My approach was an open door, broad, participatory approach of saying, hey, let's see how much talent we've got out here, guys. Let's see who's talented and focused and disciplined, who wants to get together and make the world a better place. And after 5 years, I've got to look back and say, I had completely the wrong approach because there was no talent out there to be discovered. The ultimate scarcity is human intelligence. All right? Money, oxygen, carbon dioxide, soil, water, these things are not scarce. Finding other people who are intelligent, focused, who can dedicate the time and energy to making the world a better place in this sense, talent is scarce. And you're going to meet some people who have all the right characteristics. They're smart and focused and sane and everything, but they're raising 2 kids. So they're out of the game. You're going to meet people and they're smart and focused. I remember I talked to a couple different people. They had an elderly parent. They had a parent who had dementia or was disabled or whatever. And like, well, all my time goes into taking care of my 60-year-old, mom or grandma or something. They have some older relatives. There are reasons why the talent pool is even smaller than it should be. Okay? I should have known. I should have known before I came on YouTube. This is the wrong approach. You know what? Maybe I knew it was wrong and I did it anyway, just because it's virtuous, just because it's the right thing to do. It's the right thing to come here on YouTube and say, hey, I'm open to participating with anyone and everyone. Anyone out there, send me an email, talk to me on Skype. Let's get organized. Let's get together and make the world a place. Let's go to City Hall. Let's go to Parliament. Let's make this happen. Let's create, all vegans complain that PETA, People for the Ethical Treatment of Animals, is this terrible, corrupt organization. Doesn't do it. Okay, let's start our own organization. It's 2019. Let's have new blood, new talent, new initiative. Let's get things started. And I was out here looking for new talent. But I was fundamentally wrong because I didn't want to face up to how scarce talent was. I had a great hint as to how scarce talent really is in this game back when I was involved with the Green Party of Canada. All right, I used to go to these democratic, open door, inclusive, participatory Green Party meetings, and you know who would turn up? Nazis. You would meet literal Nazis who supported Adolf Hitler, and who would explain to you why, Adolf Hitler's position on ecology, they would show up at Green Party functions. You know who I would meet at Green Party political events? Communists. Lots and lots of fucking extremist, Joseph Stalin supporting, mass murder supporting communists. That's who will show up. Crazy, mentally disabled people. I'm serious. People who are living in Canada, if you're disabled enough, you get a check from the government any month. Those people, the people who get a check from the government because they're mentally disabled, they will come to Green Party events. And they will be a complete fucking waste of your time. And you'll look around the room and think, if I'm trying to accomplish anything politically for the sake of ecology or veganism or animal rights or whatever it is, all of these people discredit me. And there's no way I should spend my time and my money trying to help them. And they're not going to help me. They're holding me back. That's my fucking experience with the Green Party decades ago. It was my experience when I went to ecological animal rights veganism functions here in Toronto, 4 months ago now. Hey, it's virtuous to come here on the internet and say or pretend that you're recruiting new talent, you're open to everyone, you're going to have this foundation, you're going to have this meeting, you're going to have this event, and all are welcome, or that you're here on YouTube and you're happy to reply to email from anyone and everyone, and you're not. The reality of what we need to do now in 2019 moving forward, and I never said this before, this isn't what I said in my video on community, this isn't what I said in my manifesto video, the reality is that due to lack of talent, we as a movement have to go through a transitional phase that will be openly elitist, openly conspiratorial, openly closed. Openly closed. What a great phrase. In the same way that if you want to start a ballet company, you can't just come here on YouTube and say, hey, I love the ballet. Who else is with me? Who else? Hey, get in touch with me on Facebook. Get in touch with me on Instagram. I want to get all this talent together. Let's create a new ballet company. All right? No, it is not possible that there's enough talent and that there are enough disciplined people at a high level of ability to perform ballet that you can create a new ballet company that way. You can't create a new opera company that way. All right? We need to go through a phase. It could take 50 years where we are building up the talent we need to move forward as a movement in a manner that is openly elitist, that's closed, where you say to people, no, I won't work with you. I'll only work with the best of the best. Oh, you're a Nazi? Fuck you. I don't want to work with you. Oh, you're a communist? Fuck you. Oh, you're mentally disabled? I'm so sorry to hear that. And let me tell you something. I get emails from mentally disabled people to this day. I have a lot of people with Asperger's syndrome and autism spectrum disorder who really think it's worth their time to send me harassing emails and demand long answers to questions and so on, okay? Some of the stupidest people on the internet make it their priority to write to me asking for advice, and some of you people aren't even fucking diagnosed. I get questions from people in university asking me, I got a question the other day, I guess the guy writes to me once asking, do you think there's a difference between the different translations of Plato and Thucydides, these classical Greek texts? Right? I didn't answer immediately because I was on a fucking airplane and shit. I'm busy. He writes back to me like 2 days later, like, I assume because you didn't answer my question that there's just no difference between the different. Of course there's a difference. What do you want? You want me to break down for you the difference between a good and a bad translation of Plato? For your $1 donation on Patreon a month? Why are you asking me that question? Of course. I had another guy writing to me. He's like, I really appreciate your expertise about, Asian languages. He's like, I'm going to Bombay, I'm going to India, like next week. Do you think I'll have any problems with languages? Of course you're gonna, what the fuck are you thinking? Why are you asking me this question? Do you think there's a difference between different translations of ancient Greek philosophy in English? Do you think there's a difference between? Do you think it's difficult to communicate with people in India if you don't speak a single Indian language? Great question. All right. I said ages ago I never wanted to make YouTube videos for the dumbest 60% of my audience. Okay. Well, if you want to be successful, that's exclusively what you'll do. That's also what Kristen Leo is struggling with. You will focus all of your attention and energy on the dumbest 80% of the audience, the dumbest 20%. Nobody ever lost a fortune by catering to the stupidest, broadest section of the mass market, okay? And if what you want to do is recruit talent, foster talent, train talent, work in an organized, systematic way that it's best described as conspiratorial. If you have a group of people, an elite group of people who want to put on a ballet or an opera, they're going to be a closed group. They're going to raise money in the way they raise it. They're going to recruit talent the way they recruit it. They're not going to be really accountable or transparent to anyone else until they're at a very late stage of development where they're really ready to move forward with the project. So I got to look back now. I got to look back on my old manifesto video on community where I said even then, my time would be better spent if I'm Jewish by blood, if I converted to Judaism and actually if I started building my position in the Jewish community instead of building my position in the vegan community, this community that doesn't even exist, that's not real, that won't in any way make my life better or my daughter's life better, so on and so forth. I already talked that through at that stage. And now what I have to say to you even more so is this broad-based, open, participatory approach to just even recruitment, to the creation of a new movement, to the creation of a new foundation within a movement. I wanted to make a special little task force, a special little charity that just dealt with leather, not fur, leather. There already are vegan groups dealing with, there are a lot of really interesting, there's lobbying that needs to be done in public education. You've got to take that message to the government, this to the public. There are big problems with leather, not just the animal cruelty, also health effects, so on and so forth. We got to move towards phasing leather out of our society. But who do I need to work with? Not the idiots who are going to send me email or give me thumbs up on Facebook. Not the people you're going to connect with by posting a picture of your ass on Instagram. And not even, tragically enough, the people you're going to attract by making YouTube videos talking about the philosophy of Aristotle and Plato and Socrates. I'm sorry, that's not the way it happens. So we, and when I say we, I mean me. I'm talking about myself here. We, especially me, we have to learn to move in a more elitist way. If the people you want to work with, if the people you want to recruit, if the people you need to work with as equals, as partners for years in close cooperation, if those are going to be the kind of highly expert, highly disciplined people who can actually make a difference in this world, how do you meet those people? How do you develop the friendships or the colleagueships that, again, throughout history have been the engine of political change? So again, to give credit to Kristen Leo, she asked this question, and then she completely loses track of her own thoughts and starts talking about PewDiePie. She starts talking about men who are really in the elite. Look at the personal life story of Napoleon Bonaparte, right? His success depended on his making friendships with, his cultivating, colleagues of a very finite number of highly talented, very eccentric people in Paris, France at that time. When he wasn't on active duty, when he wasn't out slaughtering people, he went to Paris and he went to literal tea parties, he went to salons, and he drank tea with the right people, and he cultivated those friendships and that trust. And that's what let him make the transition from being a military figure to being a political figure. All right? It's not easy to do. And the type of celebrity, even on a small scale, that YouTube offers us, that Instagram offers us, that Facebook offers us, and the money, the income, even if it's small, a couple $100 here and there, it's a big motivating factor for people, right? It's intoxicating. But ultimately, it's a completely self-distracting, it's a completely self-defeating distraction for us as individuals who aspire to be political activists and for the vegan movement as a whole.
I mean, really, people like to disrespect my crew, but the fact is that you know my name and I don't know you.